Hi there, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to today's video where I am almost done this current series called One Letter Looks. I've been spelling out the word holidays, where each new video is an eyeshadow look only using shadows which start with the next letter in the word. So down in the description box you will find my H video, my O video, my L video, etc. Today is the Y video, and this was really a challenge. I actually ended up changing my eyeshadow plan most of the way through the video. So this is the perfect example of if I were talking to the formulas, it's not you, it's definitely me. So for today's video, the only letter that I'm allowed to use is Y. Now it turns out I did make a mistake because I only have 4 palettes that have shadows beginning with the letter Y, and I thought that I had reserved those 4 for today's video, but somehow down the line I used the naughty palette. Actually, I used this for my O video, and this one has a Y, so I'm not sure what happened. Clearly I made a mistake. If I do this again, I'll be a little bit more careful because I've made this mistake a few times. Anyway, because this is not about using every palette in my collection, although I am close, it's actually just about using the letter themed shadow names. I am going to use the naughty palette today. So I'm not actually excited about this color story. I did look ahead to see what it was. My shadows today are Yuletide from the naughty palette, which is kind of a terracotta brown matte. I've got the Michaela Pot 2 palette from Glamlight, and the shadow is called You, which is a very dark blue-purple shimmer. I think it might be leaning a bit more, no, it's just a blue-purple shimmer. Really pretty, really deep. From the Orange Sorbet palette from BH Sweet Shop, I have Yum. Yum is obviously an orange color. This is a very light shimmer. It's actually quite peachy. It's pretty. And finally from BH Blueberry Muffin, we have Yummy. Yummy, which is kind of a berry-leaning champagne, silver-based, quite cool tone. Oh, it actually has a lot of brown and purple shift to it as well. Okay, so here's my color story, and like I said, I'm not terribly excited about it. I think that it's pretty. I've only got one matte, and I'm really not sure what to do with it. So I'm going to think on that for a minute, and then I'll zoom in and prime my eyes with the Glamlight Icing Primer. Everything that I'm using is linked down below in the description box. 3 of these 4 palettes are discontinued, so I'll just link the Michaela Pot 2 palette. Let's get going and see what happens. Let me tell you what I'm thinking. The blue-purple shimmer is gorgeous, but it's also much, much deeper than the one matte that I have. And so I'm for my own tastes, like this is just personal preference, I don't like a very dark shimmer to go into a lighter matte. I want it to go into like a black, and I don't have a black. I'm not allowed to use a black today because I don't have any blacks that begin with the letter Y. So because I don't have any dark mattes, I'm seeing 2 options here for my own aesthetic. I could do a halo eye, which doesn't really necessarily need to have a dark corner. It's really just the contrast of the lighter shimmer in the center. I could easily do a halo eye with 2 of these shadows. Or I could try to use that dark blue-purple shimmer to deepen. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to start with a halo eye and see how I'm liking it, and then if I really want to challenge myself and try to bring in that dark shimmer, I'll use it to deepen it. I did recently use a shimmer to deepen something a couple of times actually, and it worked okay, but the Glamlight shimmers are a very, very smooth and creamy formula, so it might actually be harder. I'm not sure. I'm going to start with a halo eye and go from there. Because I have a bold lip, by the way, my lip color is this Italia Deluxe Lip Liner in the shade Deep Purple. I put this all over my lips, and then I topped it with the ColourPop Lip Oil in the shade Hay. Because I have a bold lip, I'm totally okay doing something a little bit softer and quieter on the eyes, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm going to start with a medium blending brush and go very lightly into Yuletide. I want to gently, I think that's too much. I want to gently lay down the color in my whole crease area. And remember that I can deepen it if I want to, but it's going to be easier to deepen and build this color on itself than it will be to try to sheer it out. So I'm laying it down really, really lightly here. And I'll just, once most of the product is off the brush, do concentric circles to blend it out. If I were doing a traditional smoky eye, I don't think it feathers out in a V shape. I think it stays more rounded, but I don't really like that shape on myself. I have more of a round or oval shaped face. I don't really prefer to have a rounded eye look. Okay, so since that's down, now I'm going back into the same shade and I'm going to build it up. So I went in, there's a lot of pigment in this I'm going to build it up. I'm just tapping that color down in place, and then I will go back and forth and build it. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this series. Remember to check my description box for all the previous letters. And after this, I've got a couple videos in store for you before Christmas, and then a few more videos to close out the year. I am traveling at the very end of the year into the first week or so of the new year for my father's memorial service. So I'm not going to stress myself to do a bunch of pre-filmed content. I thought about it, I was planning on it, but I'm not sure. I might just take that time off. I might take the time off. So I'll put up a note probably on my community tab if I decide to not have videos for more than a couple of days. And I appreciate you guys in understanding, because it's just, there's nothing wrong with taking a break, especially after working your butt off for a while. Still in Yuletide, and now with a much smaller brush. I can't really get this shade any deeper. So now I'm just piling it into my inner corners and still debating whether or not I want to try to deepen with the dark shimmer. It would also bring in quite a different color, you know, even though I would be putting it on top of this soft brown tone, it would bring in a new color. So I'm really not sure. I love the shimmer. It's a beautiful color, but I'm not convinced that it's going to work great in this look. And I don't know how it would work as a blending shade. It's okay. I don't have to use it if I don't want to. I like the challenge, but not if I'm going to agonize over it. Like, it's just eyeshadow. It's not that deep. I will use both shimmers. I'm going to pick up with a flat brush the Yummy shade from Blueberry Muffin, and I'll spray it. My original plan was to use this as the feature center color of the halo eye. But when I swatched it on my arm, it was darker than I had remembered. And I don't think it's bringing enough lightness in this area, so I'm actually going to put the orange one on top of it. So I'm filling, I don't know, about, I guess, the whole inner center third of my lid space with this Yummy shade. Yummy shade. Not used as an adjective, although it is pretty. I also forgot my recent halo eye technique improvement where I don't actually put a cap of color. I'm a mess today. It's okay. I think I was just so disconcerted by this color story. Like, one matte, that super dark shimmer, what am I going to do with this? I think it's pretty so far. I've got the orange sorbet shimmer now called Yum, and I have sprayed it on my brush, and I'm just tapping it in the center. Not sure if it's working, concealing, cooperating, fighting with that, that purple shimmer. It's just so boring. It's just so, I mean, it's not ugly, but it's boring. I'm going back into the Yummy shade from Blueberry Muffin, and I'm tapping this one on top again. This one at least brings a bit of a color shift. The other one was just kind of blah. And it's not necessarily the quality of the palettes. These are all good palettes. It's just the color story. It's just trying to work them together in something that I like, to my tastes. And I'm uninspired. You know what? Just for kicks, because I'm feeling very unexcited about this, I'm going into the U shade with a dense brush. I'm going in really lightly, and I'm going to try, not with that enormous mirror, to deepen my outer corner. I'm not going to try to smear this. I'm just tapping it in place and then gently sort of pushing it a little bit, but recognizing that the, I mean, it's a shimmer. There's a challenge with that formula when you're trying to blend it.
2,000 years later.
I am literally considering changing my entire look. This is working okay. I like the tone of it. I like the depth, and I like the way that it's working with the purple shimmer. And I don't love the overall effect already of the halo eye, like what I've been trying to do. Okay, I think that what I'm gonna do is continue deepening this outer corner. I'm gonna go back into Blueberry Muffin and drag that purple shimmer on the rest of my lid space. So this is gonna be more like light inner corner, dark outer corner. I'm just not loving this. I'm just not loving it. And I was unexcited about the color story to begin with, so that's not a surprise. I was hoping that I'd be able to make it work, and I think I'm making it work justify changing my plan entirely. Well, here we go. This is the final look after many, many, many modifications. Let me tell you what I did to finish off. In my waterline, I used a light pink called Fluffy from ColourPop, and I did just an outer wing with this from ColourPop. This is their BFF liquid liner. BFF? I think it's called BFF liquid liner. The shade is called Wine Not. It's from their Wine and Only collection. This one's officially dead, so I have to throw it away. And then put on some mascara. On my lips, you already know what I'm wearing, and I only have on my face the Tarte blush palette. So, as you know, I used all 4 of these palettes, and overall, I don't dislike the look. Really, it's kind of like a neutral or purple tinged brown smoky eye. That's about what it is. It's nothing exciting. It's not my best work. It's not highly interesting or impactful or contrasty. It's just very, okay, you know, very, very safe, wearable, work appropriate, choose your adjective. I'm not excited about it, but I don't hate it either. I'm not going to go wash off my face. Honestly, that rarely happens anyway, but this look is just, it was so difficult for me to get here today. I can't remember the last time that I changed my plan, literally when the look was done, and I'm like, no, see what else I can do. It was difficult. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Did you prefer my first plan of the halo eye? Do you prefer my second? I don't know that I can say this is a plan, just a final result. Do you prefer this? What would you have done with these colors? Do you think I way overthought it and maybe I should have just done, you know, a neutral crease and the wash of shimmer and been done with it? Because that's kind of what it ended up with. I don't know. I really struggled with this video. It was still fun. It was still a challenge. It was a tiny bit frustrating. It was, because I went into it not being excited about the color story, and then to have that kind of come to fruition, like, oh yeah, it's totally dull. It was just less than exciting, you know, but I still had fun, and I think it's important to share the failures as well as the successes. I won't say that this is per se a failure. It's still pretty. Get my mirror. It is still pretty. I do like the look. I don't dislike it. It was a struggle. It was a struggle to get here. I appreciate you so much for checking out my video. Remember to check the description box for HOLID and A. This is the Y video, and I only have one more video in this series. Now, I was thinking, first off, that this is a lot of fun. I hope you're enjoying it. Again, let me know in the comments what you're thinking. I think that it might be fun to try to finish out the alphabet, since I've done 8 letters so far. Or if I were to take a whole word and do the eyeshadow look using all of the letters in that word. Now, it would have to be a shorter word, but say, for example, I use the word smile. I would choose an S shadow, an M shadow, an I shadow, etc. and just spell out the whole word, 1 word per video. Tell me what you think about that. I think it'd be fun. It wouldn't really be a 1-letter look. I'd have to come up with a new series name. Twist my arm. I so appreciate you being here today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. It was entertaining, if nothing else. I will see you again in my next one. Bye.